Yo guys, what is up? It's Teach here, coming at you again with another video, and we are on another huge Ark update. Now, I love these whole monster updates that Ark is doing. Sometimes I'll take a little bit of warning because, you know, the most recent one that released yesterday was 16.6 gigabytes, which is, you know, it's a bit excessive, but we're going to pretend that it's all okay. Now that is a huge one. You'll notice they changed a lot of networking and just generic quality of life things that you don't really see that are back-end server things, which is really nice. A lot of people don't really read into that and like, oh, it's just another update. It's actually a huge update that helps a bunch of basic stuff in-game, connection-wise, meshing-wise. It's just a big update like that. So that's a cool thing. But on to the more important stuff. Yes, Fear Evolved 4 is coming out again this year. Now, the more that now this is my inkling, you guys can leave a comment below what you think here, but the more I think about this, the more I'm convinced that Ark, instead of making Ark 2, is going to be moving into a series kind of like the Genesis thing, where they're not necessarily moving on to a new game, but it's a season-based thing, like a true year 1, year 2 pass kind of stuff like that. But let's move, that's a different conspiracy theory we'll talk about later. So, this is the 4th year of Ark, Fear Evolved. Now, that's why it's called Fear Evolved 4. If you can't figure that out, well, we have bigger issues. There's some really cool stuff this year. The first couple of years, they only had a couple unique challenges, stuff like that. This year, they're adding a whole bunch of chibis, skins, all kinds of stuff, so it's kind of neat. Now, you can see Skeletal Jerboa, pretty sweet. You got the Skeletal Giga, but that's you know, obvious. You got the Dire Wolf over in the background. These are fun. They leave you little treats. These are just 2 new emotes that they're introducing. The Knock Knock, I don't know what that's supposed to be. And it's just a really cool event. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about what they're actually releasing in this event. And there's some different things, and there's some things that are like, you know, this is pretty standard. You can see this right here. Dodo Rex, Dodo Wyvern are going to be back. If you don't know what they are fun creatures. They will slaughter you without remorse. It's kind of terrifying. But you can see that you can also manually activate this event as of now. You just need to activate the event. It's going to run from the 22nd to the 6th. You get double breeding again, double XP again. The creatures they're going to add in, these are new spooky themed chibis, which is cool. That's example Jerboa up there. In a growing collection, 7 new ghostly dinosaur skins. That Ghost Direwolf is sick. I want that. But here's some of the things you can actually run into in the wild, and these are really cool. The Dodo Rex, the Dodo Wyvern, which is really, really cool. It's something that I enjoy a lot. Here's something that a lot of people forget about. Zombie Fire Wyvern, Zombie Lightning Wyvern, Zombie Poison Wyvern. These are claimable, and they continue after Fear Evolved. Now, a lot of people forget this. This is a real thing. That yes, you can have them, and yes, they do stay. So getting these zombie wyverns and stuff like that is huge. I think as of last time, now correct me if I'm wrong, they had, I mean, this is like 2 years ago, so I don't know if they'll do it again this year. They are way, way, way higher level. So way above normal wyvern level, and you can just get some crazy stats on them. But they've also got the usual skins for the dinos, skeletal creatures, the usuals that you see right there. These are cool. This is going to be interesting. The Ghost Reaper, I'm curious to see that. And then these are all the ghost skins that they're adding. The Bulldog, Rex, Basilisk, Snow Owl, Mantis, Direwolf. Now, here's another cool thing. The event chibis. Now, if you kill the Dodo Wyvern or Dodo Rex, or you cook them in a cooking pot, you can get these, which is really cool. So these are just like little chibis, but they're modified skins. And I'm starting to like where Ark is going in this regard, because you add a whole bunch of different unique things that PvE players and players that just want to play the game for fun get to have. Because it used to be so focused on PvP and how do we make the game better for PvP. They're really kind of expanding what you can do for PvE style players. And just adding stuff like this is huge. Because these are fun little things that you can have, like a Skeletal Rex, that's terrifying. Zombie Wyvern, event chibi, terrifying. Bone Wyvern's pretty cool. Skeletal Giga's pretty sweet as well, but that's just, you know, something that they're adding in. And then obviously this is what I'm really stoked about. the ghost creatures. Now, the ghost creature skins are amazing. I've seen them in like mods and stuff like that. But the fact that they actually have them as something you can have permanently now is awesome. The ghost basilisk is going to be so cool. So is the snow owl. But basically, it's like a little blue shield. You can see through it, kind of. It kind of looks like the HLNA colors scheme, if you want to call it that. And those are the skins, and they're really, really cool. I like them a lot, at least. You can see right here, these are the individual events. The Dino Candy Corn will change the color of your dinosaur, which is really cool. Now, a lot of people forget this. This is not a permanent change. This is a day-long thing, and it also increases their movement speed. So keep that in mind. It's a little bonus kind of thing, which is pretty neat. Dinosaur bones, these are the things you collect in order to create things, getting a whole bunch of them. They're quite hefty from what I remember. The Scarecrow is kind of like the loot area. You can go there. Same thing with a stolen headstone. The pumpkin, I think you can just pick that up and move it. I don't remember there being any specific thing that you can actually acquire or accomplish with that. All right, let's move down to the skins. These are new skins. I haven't seen them yet, so I can't tell you. The Reaper swimsuit skin sounds hilarious. Haven't seen it yet, but these are all things of the past as well. The Onyx swimsuit skins, never seen some of these actually used, but this could be interesting, the Reaper swimsuit skin. The creature event colors, these are interesting. These are new creature colors for the event, so I'm curious to see what actually happens. Because jade is a really cool color on dinosaurs. So is the midnight blue. Even median autumn's okay. But the midnight blue and the jade are super cool colors on dinosaurs. But that's my personal... I like when they add colors like that, and their Dragonfire's dope too. So, let's just keep that in the loop as something that's possible. But the creature event colors are right there. Now, you can see right here, there's the zombie, wyvern, the skeletal... Is it the Quetzal? I think it's a Quetzal. There's that thing that I was talking about, the Scarecrow. You can get some stuff at his feet and move him around. But that's kind of how it works. So that's like the update itself. Now, what they secretly, not secretly really, if you read further and you're a nerd like me, if you read further, you can see that there's a huge update to the actual scheme of Ark. Now, this is really big for PC more than anything else. Xbox and PS4, because you don't have mods, it doesn't really affect you that much. But this is... huge for PC players. The latest PC version initial implement of a live tuning system. It basically allows you to, as a host, modify supported game properties without mods. Now that's awesome. So basically you can go to JSON files, which is a file type that if you run a server, you probably know what I'm talking about. If not, you probably run a really simplified server, which is fine too. And you can actually customize the individual configuration of certain things. Now that is awesome. That is a huge update for PC because you can basically change some things that you could not change ahead of time, which is obviously pretty sweet. Now, I also question, why is this Pteranodon standing? Did anyone ever question that? It must be just spawning in or something. But the modding community is also going to love this because you can actually change a whole bunch of things differently. Basically, you'll be able to tweak mod settings on the fly, which is really cool. That's my personal thing because I love mods and I love what some people are capable of doing. I think it's going to be a big change for a lot of Ark, which is really cool. But you can see it's an introduction system. There's values, all kinds of stuff. Live tuning it literally means tuning, as in like you can adjust things, but I'm sure they're also going to adjust it as well. So that's interesting, but don't forget about that. Now, here's what they released in the huge update, that 16.6 gigabyte update. Right here, live game server reliability, increase in reports about server instability causes basically a major engine, blah, blah, blah. You get the point. They're working on, you can see it right here, mesh detection, protection against DDoS, and various exploits, cheats that could be used to intentionally crash servers. Now, a lot of people are like, oh my goodness, they haven't fixed them all. But here's the thing, guys. No matter what in a game, there are cheats, there are things you can do to avoid the system. They're trying, and that's huge. I think a lot of people forget that. This is a game that they are trying to fix. This is one of the most popular games in the world. For those who are like, no, it's not. It literally is. It's been lasting for the last 5 years, and it's very stable server pops, as well as overall game population. If you don't believe me, look at some of their most recent numbers with congruent players, all that kind of stuff. Especially if you look at like the Xbox or PS4 store, one of the first games that pops up is Ark. So you can see this right here. Continue to work against malicious players. It's cool. I like that they're doing that. Status changes. You can see that right here, improving performance. This is just basic behind the server stuff that a lot of people don't really see very often. But structures are broken up into a grid. You can see that the grid cells appropriate to their location, and structures of those cells are loaded. That way, not all are loaded. Basically, it's going to cause less strain on the server, because if you're trying to load an entire map or an entire sector in, it causes huge issues because the server is trying to provide you with that information you want. And if it's doing that for like 70 other people, that server is really struggling. But if they're doing it on a specified system like a grid, it's much easier on the system, which is really nice. But you can see right here, PC and console. But that's, something that you can choose to have. But again, they're still working on it. Mods can't be used, which kind of sucks. But oh well, that's my thing. They have an official Discord now, which is kind of cool. There you go. It launched a few weeks ago. I joined it. It's kind of neat. It just gives you updates ahead of time. Like when they release an update, they'll let you know a couple hours ahead. They're using the usual Evo fan art, and then, Evo event, and then my favorite, the fan art. Just scrolling through these is super cute. Those are adorable. But you can see that a lot of people are really, I wish I was this. This is amazing. I love this Astrocetus. I don't know who you are, Sorvax, but that's amazing. That's a real life fake dodo. Okay, that's interesting. Cool. So anyways, that's kind of the update for now. I will keep you guys posted on the things that I find out throughout the game. But anyways, hopefully you do enjoy this, and if you don't mind leaving a like and a subscribe, that would be much appreciated. And other than that, make sure you keep up to date and let me know what you think in a comment below. All right, teach.